Happy Easter. My first delivery was interesting. It was over where I lost my glove, and I went inside the house, and it was like really messy and kind of gross. And I stood there waiting for the guy to get the money, because of course when you order a pizza you wouldn't have the money ready. You would act totally shocked when the delivery guy showed up, and then you had to go somewhere in the back of the house and rummage for money, because that makes sense. So I got to stand there while his pregnant wife and little girl, who's probably like 7, watched Walking Dead on television, which is prime viewing material for a 7-year-old girl. And no tip. So again, happy Easter. I just got off the phone taking an order from a guy who apparently doesn't want to poop for like a week. He is getting a large stuffed crust pizza with extra cheese and cheese sticks with extra cheese. Might as well just eat a bucket of cheese with a fork and not poop. Okay, that was a very nice family having a Easter pizza picnic on their front porch right outside the door. And a Lincoln. It's all about the Lincolns.
Turn right on Prophetstown Road, then turn right.
I think I'll do that, Phyllis. Thank you. And sweet digs right on the river. Very nice. Alright, just made a delivery number 4. That's right directly across the street from the guy's house. That is fantastic. If you've watched my other videos on my other channel, this is Riverside Cemetery. It's absolutely giant. It is literally a beast. And there is actually a video of me being lost in there, I think once or twice. It's crazy how easy it is to get lost in there. It's a fantastic cemetery. I highly recommend a visit. This town, Sterling, here is big on painting people on the sides of buildings. I don't think I'm going to drive by one on the way back. Maybe I might, but I'll try and show you. They like to paint big pictures of people on the sides of buildings, more so than like most places I've ever been to. Okay, here's the first example. There's like a bunch of presidents on this building right here, just faces. There's more. There's like full bodies, and there's like there's one. Well, there's another one over there. There's one right here. I don't know if you maybe see on the side of this white building, where the people are like 30 feet tall. It's crazy. They just love to paint people on buildings. Nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of weird. You see these really tall people all over the place. Okay, this is one of my last nights delivering pizza. I think I'm probably going to be moving from here in about 2 weeks from... I think I'm leaving in like 2 weeks from tomorrow. So I've literally got probably 5 or 6 days left to deliver pizza, which is sort of sad, but I'm really looking forward to getting to New Mexico. So I got to get to Portland first and then get to New Mexico. So it's important that I get there. This was fun, but time to move on. I'm going super deep. This is, we're going into an area where the GPS doesn't work. It's sort of a black hole. It's a lot like Broadway. When you get out there, the GPS, it just goes nuts. It thinks you're driving in cornfields. Which technically you are, but they're now roads with houses. It's been known to tell you to just basically turn left here, and you would go off the road into a cornfield. So you're really on your own once you get out there. It's good that we're going when it's a little bit still light out, because visibility is key out there. Because the mailboxes will go from like the 1800 address range, and then like the next house is like 2600 something. So it makes no sense at all. It's just, they just threw random houses and numbers all over the place out there and just stuck stuff wherever it would fit. So it's very bizarre. It's quite a ways out though, so if these hay seats in front of me don't get rolling, it's gonna be dark. I've been off for the last 3.5 days, and I made several bush league errors this afternoon when I came to work. It was actually very ashamed of myself. I forgot the Pizza Hut sign on top of my car, which is like, you know, I've done that before. Worst case scenario, I can slap another one on there. But I forgot my GPS, so Phyllis was left on the table. She must have... I felt terrible about that. And then I left on my first two-bagger with... I didn't bring my my change money, my $20 I start with. So if either of those deliveries had wanted change, I would have been SOL. So I had to go back, but after the first delivery was credit card, so I went back between the first and second, got the change thing, went back, and they didn't need change, fortunately, but then I had to go from there back to my house and get my GPS and my sign. So just overall, a horrible start to the day. And deliveries, everybody's eating inside tonight. Nobody's eating out at home. So this is like delivery 5 on Friday night. As you can tell, I'm in this neighborhood here. It's like a lot of houses and stuff. You look at the GPS, I'm basically in a field. So now I have to find this place. It won't even tell me where the street is, so I just basically have to drive around out here until I accidentally find the house. I've done it several times. I can do it because I've done it. Every time I come out here, I have to just basically drive around and look at mailboxes. And the GPS won't tell you what street you're on, so you're just completely winging it. But I'll find them. Boom, kid waiting out here and everything. It's adorable. These two little boys are taking care of it. We put their shit on a bike and pedal it back. I guess they live like just out of our delivery range. So they ordered it, paid with a credit card, and then the two boys came here on bikes or whatever, and they're gonna take the pizza wherever they need to take it. But he tipped me, and then I had a credit card receipt, and I'm like, who paid for it? And he's like, so-and-so, and I'm like, where's so-and-so? And he's like, well, he's not around. He's blah, blah, blah. And I was like, here, just sign it. So I had like a 10-year-old boy sign the credit card slip. I think he thought he was pretty awesome at that point. I was like, he's like, should I put my name on it? I was like, you know what, you can put anything you want on it. I don't care if you write Donald Duck if you want. So I don't even know what he wrote, but operation successful. Found the house out in this, I don't know where the houses are, GPS location, and pizza delivered. Kids happy, and I got a tip. So everybody came out just great in the end, as they always do when I'm delivering pizza. I deliver happiness, basically. The kid also, his tip money, all the bills are facing the correct way, so pretty awesome kid. He's got a good future ahead of him. He's on the right track. He'll go far. Well, if he leaves this area, he will. He can't stay here. Okay, I'm on deliveries. I think this is number 7, so it's not real impressive. The tip amounts are what's worse, though. I'm not getting the volume of money that I'd like to see on on a weekend night, and probably around the $2 to $3 range. I've gotten stiffed once or twice. I'm going back out to pretty close to the area I just went where the GPS doesn't work, but this is a little bit closer and the GPS is aware of it. So Phyllis is going to lead me right to where I'm supposed to be, like a boss. I have all kinds of faith in her. She'll do it. It's a weird road because this is one of those roads that it separates in the middle and there's like a field. So there's sort of an east and a west end. And a lot of times it'll put you on the wrong end, and then it'll tell you like, come on, keep going. And you're like, there's a fucking field here, dude. So then you got to go find the main road again, circumvent the field, and then come back in and find the next part of that same road. And it's just time consuming and annoying. We'll see what Phyllis does on the first try. Okay, nice young girl, tipped, pretty well. Last house in the cul-de-sac. I mean, or where this basically is where the road ends, and there's a field behind this house, and I would have had to have gone back out, and it would have been a scene. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, nice girl, tipped well. Appears to be possibly the babysitter, because there were some younger kids there. Trying to think of what I was trying to say. Obviously, it wasn't important. Let's see. Yeah, nice girl, tipped well. Her bills were not aligned correctly. Some of them were backwards, some of them were upside down. So, so close. But, not everybody can be fully dialed in. So, I mean, I understand. Plus, she is, I don't know, babysitting or what, but there was a couple of younger girls there that I think she was feeding. So, yeah, I understand, but still, come on, get your shit together. Those bills lined up correctly. Okay, we're headed to the Country Inn Suites, and I like delivering to hotels and suites because they usually tip me well. These people were demanding that I bring them paper plates and forks and napkins and all that good stuff. So I threw in some Parmesan and some crushed red pepper. So I should have thrown in some mints. Damn it. Shit. Should have went with the pillow mints. Okay, this is why I am so good at what I do. So I go up there. First of all, there's a man and a woman. Their pizza order with the delivery charge and sales tax total came to $13.34. Okay, so we're talking about a $13 full-on total delivery. So I go up there. He's like, "Wow, you're really fast." He's like, "I didn't expect you to be here so quickly." And I said, "Well, that's just how I roll." And I actually did say that. And you got to add humor. They appreciate that. Trust me on this. And so I was like, "Yeah, that's how I roll." And then I make sure to point out as I hand the paper bag to the woman that has the plates, the forks, the spoon, or the napkins and everything. I said, I made it sound like this is like a little. You make it sound like you're doing something that's like you're going the extra mile. It's not part of the norm. And I told her, I said, "Oh, I threw some Parmesan and some crushed red pepper in there for you as well. Like that's a bonus," which is, I don't know. I mean, it's all in the same area. I just throw it in a bag, but I don't know if most people do or not, but I always throw it in there. So, but I made them feel special. So now they're thinking, wow, he got me my food really fast. I mean, literally, we're on the same street as the hotel. So it's just a straight shot. It's like a mile. So but he doesn't know that because he's here from out of town. So he's like, wow, you got here really fast. And he's thinking, dude, like, comped us with some, cheese and pepper, which they may not even use, but still, it's a thought, right? So what am I getting to? What's the whole point of this all? The point is, boom, Hamilton. Pow, that's 2 Lincolns, all right? So he basically is going through his wallet, and I'm telling him all these wonderful things about, like, how much I care, and he just gets overwhelmed, and he just goes, here, and he just hands me that Hamilton. And like, as I said, that's Lincoln squared, so that's a double awesome, because Lincoln is awesome, the best. So, for those of you taking notes at home, and are thinking that, perhaps if the stars line just right, you too could deliver pizza. Just take some advice. Watch how I move, and eventually people will be handing you Hamiltons for taking a $13 pizza a mile. God bless America. Okay, we're going out on another 2-bagger. This is the reason I've told you before I love hotel and suite deliveries, because they always tip well. The last 2 times I've gone to the suites there, I've gotten a Hamilton each time. So that's 4 Lincolns in 2 deliveries. That is boss, no matter how you slice it up. And I think it's because, like, when you're in a hotel or a suite, it's like you're separated from reality, because, like, you're not home, you're in, like, this place and anything goes. Some of them are, like, on business, so it's like they got a per diem, and they're just, like, they just chuck money around, because it's like, it's like the lottery or somebody else's money. Some of them, for all I know, that dude that just hooked me with a 10, he was with some blonde woman. Could be his mistress, could be an affair, he's feeling no pain, feeling good, slinging the Hamiltons around, trying to impress her maybe, so she'll do something that, she's been hesitant to do previously. You never know. So, whatever it is, delivering pizza, this is for you that are thinking about getting into it or are going through the junior ROTC training period right now, and it's something that you hope to attain. When you get a delivery for a hotel or a suite or something like that, it's a good deal. Like, yeah. If you get a delivery for a motel, not so much. There may be issues there. There could be some things that happen. When I was the last motel, hold on, I gotta ask Phyllis. I might have to turn here. I didn't even.
Right on East 3rd Street.
Yeah, that was at the last second. The last motel I delivered to is called the Nap Inn. Like, yeah, I mean, come on. When they go for cute names, especially Nap Inn, because you know there's bed bugs, and it's like the last thing you want to do is sleep longer there than you'd have to. But the Nap Inn, I go there. This dude's standing outside. Turns out it was his pizza, but he didn't pay for it. Like some other woman paid for it. And it got really weird, and he was obviously full on tatered. He was stumbling, and I was like thinking, I knew there was no tip coming. I mean, because he was like, well, didn't she pay with the, yeah? And it was just like this really confusing. Like, he didn't know. She was on the phone. I was, like, using his dirty phone to talk to this woman, and everything got weird, and it got to the point I just wanted to go, look, dude, take the fucking pizza and just, I don't fucking care. It was just really gross, and he was so fucked up. And then he started talking about how he's going to kill a man that night, and I'm just like, this isn't, I'm standing outside holding a pizza trying to work out the payment things.
Turn left on 6th Avenue.
Oh, really? Tell me now? God damn you. So I just want, like, you know, my $15 or whatever. He's talking about killing a man by shooting him in the head. And he's telling me this. He's like, I'm going to shoot a man. I'm going to shoot so-and-so in the head tonight. You know, and what do you say at that? I'm just like, you know, let's not. Just enjoy your pizza. That's probably your best. My only hope is that he sat down, ate the pizza, you know, kind of had a change of heart because he was like, you know, this pizza's pretty damn good. The guy that delivered it was awesome, and maybe I am being a little harsh on this killing or shooting this guy in the head thing. I didn't read anything in the paper about a head shooting, so I think I may have saved a life through pizza that night. It's possible.
Then turn left on East 26th Street.
The bottom line is, though, use caution when delivering to a motel. Hotels and suites, expect good things. That's where people with money are going to go. That's where you're going to go, you know, if you're on like a business trip per diem or you're trying to impress your mistress. So that got me to thinking, I don't think that, you know, I'm personally nothing against Hamilton, but does he really rate the $10 bill? I mean, think about it. Lincoln's on the 5, and he's like the best ever. Hamilton, nobody knows who Hamilton is. I mean, I don't. I'm thinking, I mean, even Grant. Well, Grant shouldn't be on the 50. I mean, yeah, well, okay, because of his Civil War stuff as a general, I'll give him the 50. Yeah, okay. Franklin on the 100, I'll give him that. Washington on the 1, I understand, because, you know, first president, number 1, all that. Yeah, it makes sense. It's just Hamilton on the 10, really? That seems like there's some injustice there. I mean, Lincoln should stay on the 5 just because it just looks badass. But I think we might want to... What do you got to do to, like, petition changing who's on a bill? Because Hamilton, it's just... I just don't think so. He's a good-looking man. He looks good on the bill. If you really take a look at him, he's pretty sharp. You got to imagine back in that, for that time period, probably had his share of the ladies. But what, Hamilton? Come on. I bet if you took a poll, most Americans would they would either not know who's on the 10, or they would just guess, and it wouldn't be Hamilton. They would guess incorrectly. I mean, I'm sure he was a nice guy, but does he get a bill? I just don't know if he rates a bill. Yeah, we're going to those shithole apartments. This is where I pizza cammed it a while back, and I went in. They usually tip here, but it's definitely nothing to write home about. It's pretty minimal, because they're kind of shitholes. This, not like the ones in Rock Falls shitholes, not at that level. This actually is, oh, we're going into the same building that I pizza cammed last time. Yeah, right here. This might be a chick this time though. The last time when I pizza cammed it, I think it was a guy. Let's see. Alright, so that was a small tip like I expected. The first guy gave me a good tip, so they'll average out. It'll be decent for those 2 deliveries. When I get in the car, I take my gloves and I put them together in a way, and then place them in a way so that when I pick them back up, they're basically just ready to slap on, like they're facing the right. It's like the money. It's just everything's all dialed in. It's all facing the same way. All I have to do is pick them up and basically slide each hand into one of them. They're all ready to roll. I swear to God, half the time I pick them up from where I set them all locked and loaded, and they are upside down, backwards, sideways. I swear I set them exactly the way I want them. And then when I grab them, like half the time, they're like, I go to put them on and I'm like putting the left glove on the right hand. It's like, how is this possible? All right, she was very attractive. But while you're here and we're talking, how about we discuss the exclamation mark? Okay. I don't know about you, but stop it. Just seriously, stop it. The exclamation mark has been used on the internet already more than it's been used in the history of all print up until the point that the internet was invented. Okay? Just stop with the exclamation mark. All right? I don't care how excited you are. You're not yelling. Just stop it. You can make your point without the exclamation mark. You see on Facebook all these stupid fucking, like, I don't know. Where do people find these little sayings that, like, they're like little design boxes and they have a cute little saying in it and everybody shares them and then they all giggle. First of all, is there like a website that I don't know about that's what they do is they just mass produce these cute little sayings and then people go, aw, and then they start sharing them on Facebook? Because I don't know how the whole thing works. I don't get it. They just appear and I'm like, where did that originate and why? But even like every now and again you'll get one, especially, what are those fucking like rotten e-cards or something that everybody thinks is just adorable? Every now and again there'll be one that's like mildly amusing and it'll end with like an exclamation point. And it's like, really? You were doing so well. You really were. Why did people have to use the exclamation mark? It's like they're yelling right in your face. And it's like, like I said, you can make the point and it would be humorous if you just be all mellow and just state the fact. It's like everybody's Bobcat Goldthwait on fucking, everybody's got to yell or something. I don't know. Stop. Just take that key on your keyboard and like super glue it up or something. Put something on it, like a pointy thing, so if you tap it, it fucking cuts you. Something. But just stop with the fucking exclamation mark, okay? Just, ugh. I will actually scan things that are sent to me or that pop up. I'll just like real quick, just glance at the end. And if the very last thing I see on what's sent to me is an exclamation mark, I just delete it. I don't even take the time to read it, look at it. It's just like, oh, exclamation mark. Nope, sorry, it's not happening. Because it's already something I hate. So why would I sit there and waste 30 seconds reading it? It's a really good time saver to just scan, exclamation mark, delete, boom. You just saved yourself 30 seconds of like wasting your time. So it's kind of like a indicator. Just scan it real quick. Look at the very last thing. If you see an exclamation mark, God forbid there's like 2 or 3 exclamation marks, get rid of it as soon as you can. Don't even waste your time. Just don't. Trust me. The payoff will not be worth the fact that at the end you're like, why are they yelling at me? And it's not that amusing or exciting. That's my boy Ed right there. Ed just called in to say, Ed is an unusual character. Ed just called in to say that his car suddenly stopped working in reverse, so he had to, in order to turn around, drive through somebody's yard. I guess he just called to give a heads up Oh, by the way, I just drove through somebody's front yard. So, like I said, Ed is a weird cat. He is one of a kind. Seems to be in his own little world. Doesn't seem to understand that there's things going on outside of about a 3 or 4 foot radius. If he's going inside and has the door open and you're like 4 feet behind him coming, he won't like hold the door open for you. He literally doesn't know you're behind him. I mean, he just doesn't know. In his world, Ed's coming in, and there is no, somebody right behind him that might need, a door like held for just a second so they can grab it without having to put the key code in, and because that door, when you let it go, it shuts fast, and you have to put in a key code to get in. So usually, drivers just hold it open, or there's a deadbolt you can throw so it won't shut. If you see another driver pull up right behind you and he's like seconds away from coming in, you just make it so that he doesn't have to put in the code and just come in. Not Ed. Ed you don't exist as far as he's concerned. He's just in his own little mini world, his own zone, and he is quite interesting. He recently was just banned from being able to answer the phone. Now, it's one thing, because they do like mystery callers, and they will call... I forgot, I got to turn GPS on for a second.
Then turn right on East 3rd.
Okay, so they will call... They have people that call fake orders in, and they do this thing, and they have, I guess they're running off a checklist, and you can do the whole thing. And then at the very, very end, they say, oh, by the way, cancel the order, I'm a mystery shopper. Thanks for, and they hang up. And so, I've been hit by a mystery caller before, and there's only like one thing I got dinged on, and I'll get dinged on it every time for like ever, eternity, because it's super, super, super stupid. And what they want you to do actually becomes very awkward and uncomfortable, and I think would cause more problems than it would solve. So I'm not going to do it. So I'm always going to get dinged on that. But anyway, they generally would say, gosh damn it, no, I'm not going up 4th. They generally will say, like a few days later, you'll get, your manager will go, hey, mystery shopper called, and you got, you scored like a 98 because you didn't do this one thing. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm never going to do that one thing, but thanks. So Ed, the other day, the phone's ringing, and he's just standing there. I'm like, Ed, because I was doing something. He's like, oh, I can't answer the phone. And it's like one of those things, like it just comes out of Ed's mouth. You're just like, oh my God, only Ed. And so I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, a mystery shopper called, and I scored so low that the regional like owner or whatever said I can't answer the phone anymore. So he can only stand there and stare at the phone, because I can only imagine what he did or didn't do on that phone call to basically be banned. Because when we're like really, it's really hopping, we need it. We have a answering service that gets our rollovers. Like if it rings so many times and nobody gets to it, it goes to the answering service. Well, nobody wants that, because first of all, the woman, I think it's, as far as I know, it's just one woman like on her couch, because I've gotten her before, and she is horrible. Just horrible. Like, she will take a credit card. She'll be like, cash or credit? And they'll go like, credit. And instead of asking for like the credit card numbers and running it, putting it in, she goes like, okay. And then they'll show up at the house, and we'll show up at the house with a pizza, and we'll go to say, that's like XX number of money. And she's like, oh no, I said it would be a credit card. And I'm like, well, I don't have the receipt to sign it, because nobody ran the credit card. Like, she thinks the driver is just going to take the credit card on the front porch and magically process. It's horrible. You don't want the answering service to get the call. So we're always constantly grabbing, gotta get the phone. So to basically tell Ed, like, take one man completely out of the picture. Like, you are not allowed to answer the phone. Not like you need to fix these certain areas, you need to change this and that about your answer. No, you are not allowed to answer the phones. So
Turn left on East 14th
Ed
Street, then turn left.
is a special kind of guy. And God damn it, I'm going to miss him when I leave. I will, even though he probably wouldn't recognize me. Like, if I went 3 days without seeing him and walked by him, I don't think he'd know who I was. If I saw him tomorrow, like in Walmart, I don't think he'd not acknowledge. He wouldn't know I was standing right next to him. So, but God bless him. I'll never meet another Ed. That's for sure. You won't either. The streets around here are literally beat to shit. I mean, it's pathetic, actually, how the shape of some of these streets. And I know it's hot as shit here in the summer, and you know it's just buried in snow in the winter. So I understand that the effects that the weather has on the asphalt. But really, I mean, it's literally, there are places where you feel like you're off roading in a dune buggy. It's like Baja shit. It's terrible. And so that last guy I delivered to, I pulled up and I was like 99% sure it was his house, but there was no visible numbers on it. So the way they number houses here, it's like they go by twos, and then you got even on one side and odd on the other. So I knew if I just pulled up to the house right after his and saw a number, then I would be able to immediately know which house was his. So I pull up. I just so happened to pull up right when he basically stood in his front doorway. Like his door was open, and I looked, I saw him, I was like, oh, okay, that's a good indicator. But I had already committed, and so I was like driving up, I just pulled up like 10 feet, looked, I saw the number, and I knew that I had the right house. So I backed back to right where I just left, and he was there. So he came outside to meet me, because it's actually really nice out tonight. And so, you know, he starts apologizing that his house doesn't have numbers on it. And I was just like, it's okay. It's like, you know, it's like 50-50 that they do. And I was trying to explain to him like the numbering system, because like I don't think most people know the numbering system on the streets in their town, because they generally, for the most part, don't have any reason to give a shit. But you know, so once you figure out the pattern, then you can find like almost any house, because you know the pattern. And so if you see a number, you can do the math in your head, and you know, like basically you can look down the street and you can say that it's that house right there. And so I started to sort of explain that to him, and then realized that like it was just I'm going down a street that there's no point in. He had that glazed look on his eyes when I was like, well, the numbering system in Sterling is like, yeah, I was. Here's your pizza. It appears that Ed's still fucking going all trooper on it. Like, he's just gonna deliver in one direction, no reverse. That's dedication.